I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about brooding. My black Orpington, she's brooding. And see, what happened is if you leave the coop open all day, the back side of it, while she's brooding, she'll leave the coop and stop doing it. And you do that for a day or two. Well, that no longer works. She doesn't care if I leave it open. She still continues now to brood. So I'm going to teach you something a little different. Tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to close it all up and lock her out once we remove her. Lock her out of her coop to get her mind off sitting on the eggs. Now watch what happens when I come up to her. Here's what a brooder does. There she goes, like a turkey. Looks like a Thanksgiving Day turkey, except with the feathers. Trying to make herself look bigger to scare away any predators because she feels threatened by me. Not sure, because I do pick her up, I do pet her, and I give her treats, and she never has a problem. But she won't peck me. Usually brooders will peck, and she does not peck. And I'm not going to throw her out. Tomorrow, if she's not out eating and drinking, I'm going to pick her up. I'll sit the camera down. I'll pick her up. I'll throw her out. I'll collect the eggs, and then I'm going to lock her out. And then we're going to see. There's going to be a 2-day film. We're going to see what kind of results we get. We're going to see if it actually works, this trick. So that way I can post it on YouTube, and my friends, instead of asking me about backyard chickens, you guys can just go to the video and see how to stop a brooder. But she's a black Orpington, and I'll show you. I'll pet her, and I'll show you she's not mean. She just got her feathers poofed out, trying to make herself look bigger, you know. And she's just talking mildly. That's the only thing that works, is if I talk to her, then she's a little bit better and she doesn't puff up. But we're going to close up the coop. This trick did not work. You can leave the coop open like this for a day. It worked the first time a few weeks ago. She wouldn't sit on the eggs all day long. The problem is she gets mites if she sits and doesn't move around in the dirt and clean herself. And then she doesn't eat or drink, and chickens need to eat and drink all the time. Always giving them water, always giving them fresh food. Fill the feeder tomorrow. What I'll do is I'll fill the feeder to get them all attracted so they're not in the coop. And I'll show you guys what happens during a feeding, how they all come up for the food. They have lots of food on the ground. I sprinkle the food on the ground too. But it attracts mice, and so you don't want to do that too often. And then they get their little eggshells and stuff as treats. So tomorrow I'll show you how we're going to give them all treats to lure them away from the coop so I can close up the coop. And then we're going to pull this little booger out. Boss, her name is. She's looking at me right now. We're going to pull her out, and then we're going to lock her out of the coop all day tomorrow. And then we'll see on day 3, because this is day 1, and we'll do day 2, and we'll see on day 3 how she reacts when we walk up to the coop. Will she be in there brooding, or will she be out here with the other hens, eating, pecking at the ground, and just being a chicken instead of sitting on eggs that'll never hatch? This is Lord Rick. Peace out. It's day 1. Tomorrow will be day 2, and we'll see how this, if this teaches Boss, a very stubborn Orpington, which is known for brooding, reacts to this type of education, this type of training, perhaps, because we got to train her not to brood, just to lay eggs. If she continues to do this also, these hens here will start brooding, and none of them will leave the coop, and that's bad for the egg business. I need eggs. I got to work out and hike, and so I need eggs daily. All right, people. Peace out. See you tomorrow at day 2 in the morning when the sun comes up. All right, everybody. It's day 2 of the experiment. You can kind of see that Boss is not here. She's my black hen. And so what we're going to do is we're going to lock her out. I'm going to take some eggshells. We always give them the eggshells, but we're going to lock her out. Try to break the habit of her brooding today. Well, she'll be probably sitting in there. Yep. Come on, Boss. You gotta come out at some point. See? All over one egg. I'm going to take the egg. What we're going to do is we're going to box this up. See, she's all puffed up. She's mad. She's like, I don't want to go leave the coop. Problem is because she don't want to leave the coop, she's not eating and drinking. And so we're going to kind of feed them and get them interested in these eggshells here. You guys can see I filled the feeder up. I've put eggshells. I love eggshells. That's what the one Americanos in the corner are eating, eggshells. But put eggshells down, put some food. The coop's completely locked up. The black one, Boss can't get in it. Therefore, she can't brood. She can't sit on eggs that aren't there. Even if there was eggs, she can't sit on anything. I took the egg. And so what we're hoping is that tonight when I open the coop and they all go to sleep, by tomorrow morning the black one, Boss, will be out naturally and about, and I won't open the coop and find her sitting in one of the beds. Because generally in the morning or during the day, the chickens are supposed to be out and about, eating, drinking. They may lay an egg and sit on it for a little bit, but Boss was sitting on it all day, and we're going to try to break her of that habit. So filled fresh water, got fresh food. It's just to keep them busy so they're not bored and sitting here all day, because they can't get in the coop to roost. They have a roost bar in there, and so basically they're just going to have to play out here today. They can jump on the logs, jump on the coop, run around and peck at the food. We'll also keep them busy by doing something else. Now I have different types of food here, because I do give them multiple types of food. It's just because I like to keep them busy, but we'll throw in some pellets. These are pellets. They like the crunched up stuff. They don't like the pellets as much, but they do eat these. And we'll throw them down because it keeps them busy. They get bored. Food is what they like to keep them busy. And you just kind of sprinkle it down. I'm going to throw about 3 handfuls. But they're going crazy right now. To them, this is a smorgasbord, you know. Chickens are simple creatures, but they do love to eat. Food is what motivates them all. There. So they're good. I'll probably open the coop up around 8 p.m. tonight. Ooh, boss. But 8 p.m. tonight we'll open the coop. I'll let them all go roost and rest for the evening. We'll come out tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow morning, and this is day 2. We'll see on day 3 if this trick worked, and Boss will be out and about and not brooding and hiding in the coop. Because we want to break her of this habit. This type of species of chicken, they're known to be very stubborn. They're stubborn brooders. That's all they'll do is they'll guard the eggs all day long. And the problem is when they brood, they don't lay any eggs themselves. They just sit on eggs all day and they won't lay. And she lays good eggs, so we want her laying eggs. We don't want her guarding all the eggs all day. It doesn't matter who lays the eggs. She wants to sit on it. So we're going to break her of the habit. Hens are locked out of the coop. It won't hurt them. They'll spend the day out here in the open. This evening, when the sun goes down, we'll open it. And then tomorrow morning when I come out here, we should see results. We should see Boss sitting out here eating and drinking and not puffing up and trying to guard her eggs. So this is day 2 of the experiment. Hens are fed. I kind of fed them just to take their minds off the coop being closed. Locked up the coop. Boss looks like she's pretty normal right now. She's eating. And she's sitting here, she's eating, and she's not puffed up anymore. So she's already forgot about brooding for now. For now, we'll see what happens tomorrow if this had worked. There's only a few ways you can stop a chicken from brooding. There's only a couple ways, and this is one of the main ways, is locking them out of the coop. And you can see the Americano keeps pacing because she's like, I want to get in the coop, I want to get in the coop. Because they find security within the coop, and if they don't have the coop to go in, there's no security. But it doesn't matter right now. I mean, they're safe. They're around a cage. Nothing's going to get to them, no predators or anything. So they're good to go. They're golden. This is a temporary thing for like one day. Oh, yes, I see you guys. For one day, and then tomorrow we'll see if we broke her habit of brooding. It doesn't mean she won't start brooding again. She was doing it a few weeks ago. We used the open the coop trick. It worked. Well, it's not working anymore. So the next step would be to lock her out of the coop for the day and see if that works. The third step is we'd have to put her in a small crate for a couple days and isolate her for like 2-3 days. Just keep her in there and let her and break her of that habit. But you can see she's a pretty active hen. I mean, when she's out, she likes to fly and jump around and play. But when she broods, she never leaves the coop. She just sits there all day on the eggs. Hi, boss. Okay, boss. Feisty. She can be pretty feisty. Most of the time she'll let me pet her, but today she's like, leave me alone. You just stopped me from brooding. And she's a decent bird. I pet her all the time. But when she broods, she acts like she's afraid and needs to protect. That's how she acts. So look at her. She's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? These type of species of birds or hens, they're usually pretty stubborn brooders, but she never pecks me. She doesn't ever get aggressive. She lets me pet her. Good boss. Good boss. Good girl. See? So So we're all good here, guys. Day 2 of the experiment's underway. We'll see what happens with day 3. This is Lord Rick. Peace out. Okay, so we're on day 3 of the experiment here to prevent Boss from brooding. And you can clearly see that she's in the coop. She's not out here. So she's definitely brooding. And what will happen is if you have to do it sometimes for a few days. So we may have to do this for a couple more days. But you can see that there's an egg on the ground because sometimes when you lock them out of the coop, they just start laying eggs on the ground. Which is because they can't get in the coop. So, and what will happen is Boss will sit on the egg out here. So she'll start to brood out here. So we may have to use some other method to stop her from brooding. However, if we lock her out of the coop a few days, it should break her of it. For now, it should. So we're going to see what happens. I'm pretty sure when we open it, she's going to puff up. Try to make yourself look big. Seriously, Boss. Look, she's not even sitting on any eggs. So we definitely want to break her of that habit. Because she's not even sitting on any eggs. And that's just simply, she's just simply sitting in the coop to sit in the coop. So this is the 4th day that we've continuously trying to train our black hen Boss how to stop brooding. Now, when I opened the coop this morning, she was brooding. She was not sitting on any eggs. There was no eggs. She was just puffed up, defending a cubby hole with no eggs. So she don't even know why she's brooding anymore because she wasn't sitting on any eggs. So this morning, I took a bunch of bread, threw it out in the middle, stood behind the door. As soon as they all came running out, I closed the door. I obviously had to lift Boss for 3 days in a row out of the coop onto the ground, lock up the coop, keep her out. Now, if this doesn't work, we'll have to try to stop her or break her of her brooding habit by using other methods. However, this may work. This is 3 days now in a row she'll be locked out of the coop. By tomorrow, it should work. When we come out, we should see her out and about. If it doesn't work, we'll have to put her in a crate like this, for example. And we're just going to have to let her sit there for a few days with some food and water until she stops nesting. When she stops that, she won't brood anymore. So we're going to try different methods. This is the 2nd or 3rd method I've tried. I still have a couple more tricks we can try out. So, it's when I started filming the video, I started filming on day 1. And now here we are on day 4, and we're still dealing with a very stubborn Orpington, black Orpington, as you can see. And right now she's trying to clean herself because when they sit and they brood, they get dust mites, they get mites, because they don't have a chance to clean themselves. They don't have a chance to rest in the mud and all those good things that a hen should be doing and going in water and so forth. So she's obviously agitated, and we need to stop her from brooding because it's also very important for her health, or for her to maintain her health and continue to lay eggs rather than sit on eggs 24 hours a day and not drink, not eat, get mites, no exercise. It's just not good for her. We'll see what happens, Boss. We're going to break you of this habit. This is day 4, brooding with Lord Rick. Alright, everybody. It's been 5 days now, and Boss is no longer brooding. Usually by about 7:30 a.m. she's sitting on the eggs in the coop and not coming out to eat or drink or spend time with her siblings. And she's sitting out here. You can see her. She's just looking around. She's no longer brooding. Although I do have an egg that is in the coop on the ground. You can see it. I'll zoom in. Because they will tend to do this if you lock them out of the coop and then you let them in. They get a little discombobulated or disorientated. But please make sure you give our YouTube channel a like for more videos like these. For all things strange, odd, how-to, educational, or just fun, or plain and simple raw humor. And this is Brooding 101 with Lord Rick, and how to break your chicken from brooding. Next time she broods, what we'll do is we'll place her in this crate. Doesn't have a dirt bottom, and we'll keep her there for a couple days because we really don't want to mess with the other chickens. They're laying eggs right now and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, and hopefully this will break her, but every few weeks she starts to brood again, and it's just her breed. She's a black Orpington, and they're very stubborn brooders. That's what they do. So you have to learn little tricks to break them of the brooding. And this time it worked, but leaving this open does not always work. It worked the first time, it did not work the second time with her. Are you going to let me get my egg? Or your egg, I should say. There you go. Here we go. And hopefully we'll have them right back on a regular schedule, and I'll be getting eggs daily to make breakfast with. So, like I said, there are more extreme measures you can take. Locking them out of the coop for a few days is something you can keep trying. It seemed to work. It's probably not going to last forever, but it'll work for now until she broods again. And one other thing, guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Help us reach 8,000 subscribers. We're really here to help out in the community and teach people things, and get them out of their house and adventuring and learning about backyard chickens and all sorts of cool, interesting other topics. But you can see, boss, she's alert. She's coming right up. She's not acting batshit insane where she's sitting there on the eggs puffing up like a turkey. She's out and about. You notice she's not cleaning mites off because she's moving. She's been in the dirt, rolling around. So this is what you want. This is normal for backyard chickens. If you come out to your coop and you don't see in the morning any of your chickens, or some of them are in there, and it's okay if they lay an egg or sit on an egg, but if they're, if you come out here and your backyard chicken's sitting in a cubby and there's no eggs and she's all guarding eggs that aren't there, you're definitely going to want to break them quickly of brooding. And I'm going to tell you why real quick. If you don't break these hens from brooding, if you don't break them from doing brooding, they'll all start brooding and they'll all stop laying, and then you won't have no eggs. So it's always good if you see a brooder, a very stubborn brooder, break them of the habit as quick as you can, unless you want your other backyard chickens brooding. It'll cut down on your eggs, and it's not healthy for them to constantly be brooding, because like I say, they start getting mites and all these other issues. So this is how to break a brooding chicken, a black Orpington 101. And like I said, please subscribe to us. We work really hard on our videos. This was a 5-day project for me, and it looks like my hard work paid off because she's out and about just like the rest of the hens, and she's not all puffed out or defensive or sitting in the coop right now on eggs that don't even exist. She's jumping around. So she's happy and she's doing well, and it worked. And she should be, by the end of the day, laying me a nice good sized large brown egg, and that's just breakfast in my pocket. Peace out.